Hello there again. Here we are at the second session for the SEPP Cooking Show, which is being run in conjunction with the cultural festival at Nan Tien Temple in Wollongong. And so we're doing the cooking show from Blacktown in Sydney. But there's a lot of activities going on down in Wollongong over the next 9 days. And SEPP, as we mentioned before, is a spiritual and environmental preservation practice. And this was inspired in part quite significantly by a talk by a Buddhist master, Venerable Xing Yun. He gave a talk in 2010 called Environmental and Spiritual Preservation. And he outlined the situation that we're in with our environmental challenges and damages, and what it is that we can do to apply the spiritual and our practice to looking after the situation and making things better. He says that environmental preservation starts with oneself. It starts with purification of the individual, then leading to the nation, society, and the entire world in purification. And so we've already talked about the Anthropocene and the Symbiocene, a little bit more on the Symbiocene. Glenn Albrecht's book Earth Emotions talks about this particularly, and he outlines what we know about the Anthropocene, but he also puts forward a case for let's go into the era of the Symbiocene. Let's choose to do that. This is where we live in mutual benefit with the planet and the environment, and we can easily, seemingly easily, achieve that. But of course, what we find is that as humans and society, change is not always easy. In fact, it can be very hard, and we see a lot of inertia in systems, politics, business, for making such a change. Mind you, 2021 has been a year where we have seen quite a shift in that regard, especially around the COP26 outcomes. I mean, the national determined contributions from the COP26 still don't add up to the number that we're looking for, but there was great advances in some other areas for transition to a more viable way of human living. And Glenn Albrecht is not the only person who's put forward an alternative to the way that we're doing things at the moment. We could also say this nice meme is about let's keep the planet livable for all. And Thomas Berry wrote a great book on this as well, about us achieving a viable mode of human living on the planet. And so if you dive into Earth Emotions, the book, Glenn Albrecht outlines more detail about the Symbiocene and how we can transition to that. And so here we are in the kitchen, and we can be doing things in the kitchen that make quite a big difference to that. And Ling is about to show us some more of that. And here we go with our next cooking show.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you. Here we go again. Merry Christmas. And oh wow, that is actually very hot. Welcome to our kitchen here in Blacktown. It's a beautiful place to be. And I would like to start with acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands, our ancestors from the past, present, and our children that are emerging. And also, I would like to acknowledge the country where I'm actually at, and Master Singing, of course, where he is actually my masters. I'm actually very proud that I actually have such masters. And Tom and Li Ping, and the bee and the butterflies and the seeds and the garden that we actually have. And look at the tomatoes, look at the flower, look at the chili, and I also would like to acknowledge the chickens, the girls that we actually staying, we went on a holiday and we staying at the farm, and the owners actually give us 3 dozens of eggs from the girls, and we met the girl face to face. I also would like to acknowledge Lam Yong, Chris at Lam Yong, who actually sponsor us with the produce that we actually doing today. So the title of the cooking today is Vegetarian for Meat Lovers, celebrating Christmas together with vegetarians. Right. So I have got the lamb yong stuff already actually cooked, and I'm going to bring it out. Now you can actually see here, this is actually 20 minutes in the oven with nothing. I did not add any oil. I did not add any herbs, just as it is. Why do I actually doing that? I did actually add some tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes that we actually pick. We have been picking beautiful tomatoes, 2 different type of tomatoes that we actually been picking, abundance of them. It's so abundance of them. Now I would like to actually with the lamb yong product, there's always a flip of a coin, like my hands. Same hands, but then if I flip, that is my what you're seeing is the front of my hand, the palm, but what I'm seeing right now is the back of my hand. When I flip it, I get to see my own palm, and you no longer see my palm, but you see the back of my hands. It's with everything, it's always multifaceted jewels. So some people said to me that, oh, lamb yong, oh no, why we actually have to go through the mock meat? If we actually want to be a vegetarian, why can't we just have vegetables? Now, it's actually easier said than done. For people who actually love the chewy textures of it, and it's Christmas, why not? I'm not saying that we're eating this every single day. This is a special treat, where when I'm actually marinated this, lamb yong, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I don't really like the word mock meat. Nuggets, yeah. It is actually soy protein. Thank you so much, Living. Thank you, yeah. The soy protein, if this is actually the day that I'll go to have barbecue with my friends or my brothers, I would marinate that for half an hour or so, and made it at home, take it in put the lids on, and take it to my brother's place, which is actually in Cannywell, and throw it on his barbecue. Most likely, when I've actually turned around to do something else, it's all finished. Because people would actually ask me, is this actually not beef, or is this not chicken? And often enough, people are actually being tricks, if you like. Yeah. So today, that is actually enough of that. I have got all my different herbs, the perilla and the red dandelion. They're beautiful. Like what I'm actually saying is non-durable, non-durability. There's one here, but then you see the front of it, and then when I flip over, you will see the beautiful back of it. If you look very closely, they also have hair at the back as well, and the vein of it. So when we actually eating, vegetables, how we going to do it? How is it that we're going to eat it? I'm just going to show you a couple ways. In Laos, how we actually do it. And also, let Ali members, I would like also to acknowledge my Teochew culture, my Teochew blood from my mom and my dad. Thanks to them that I've actually have got these beautiful natures, the dance of Teochew woman. I'm very proud to be a Teochew woman. So in here, I have, there's so many different things we can do from here. But today, I just wanted to show you one things only. I have made this beautiful sauce where I haven't put any, because this is supposed to be at Nantian Temple. We're supposed to be at Nantian Temple for these 10 days, but we choose to stay at home and connect with you online. So instead, I've actually do it, here. So if this is actually at the temple with the sauce, I would use garlic. Oh, sorry, this is not garlic. I would use ginger, chop up finely, and put that in there. But because this is actually at home, so I apologize, I've actually used garlics in there. What is actually missing in there is the chili that I got from home as well. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to turn this one around. Thank you, Thomas. And I'm going to cut this one into small pieces. Everything in small pieces. Yeah, even the tomatoes as well from home. And also, any question at all, Liping? Any suggestion? Would you like to say anything?
And Priscilla from Malaysia is online too.
Ah, thank
Hi,
you
Priscilla.
so much. Hello, Priscilla. Priscilla Liping is also from Malaysia. And Merry Christmas. Yeah. So here I have got a bit of everything. So really, we have got all these things here. What I'm actually going to do, which is I have a little bit of dill. Dill is very good for woman issues. And I have got a little bit of tomatoes. And I have got a little bit of chili. A little bit of garlic chai. I'm just going to demonstrate. And a little bit of, this is actually beautiful flowers. It's actually called the lucens. Yeah, it's a lucent flowers. The bee loves them and it's edible. And this one here, this leaf here, have a look at this beautiful leaf. They grow very easily, but yet they're actually, packed with, this is actually called ginseng leaf. Ginseng is actually so many different type of ginseng, but this type is a different type of ginseng. And I'm also going to add a little bit of the perilla leaf in there as well, and the Vietnamese mint. Now, why is it that, the Vietnamese women or people, they have such beautiful features and they hardly actually, overweight. Look at what they actually eat. This food is actually linking to Vietnamese or Laos style. So I'm going to cut this lamb yong. It's still very hot actually. Yeah. In there. And I'm going to show you something else as well. It's actually quite hot there. So I put it in there with a little bit of my cucumber. And if I actually choose to be, I can actually, this is my tea egg, by the way. Tomorrow, I will show, we will have cooking shows on, the, how to make tea eggs beautifully with the coffee and the tea, chai from the morning. Okay, and look at that. That is so beautiful. I also would like to express my gratitude to the girls that I stay with by the river in the countryside. So I put that one in there. Whatever I like, I do it mindfully and heartfully with gratitude. And then I put the sauce over it. Now, if you want to know what's in the sauce, you have to come back, because in one of the sessions, I'm going to show only sauces only, nothing else. Now with that in mind, in Lao we call them miang kam. Miang kam. Kam is either go or can be translated as go or one mouthful. Nam is actually where you put everything in and you lap them up and you pop them into your mouth. Just excuse me for 1 minute.
Let's enjoy a moment of silence while Ling is enjoying her wrap. The great thing I find about wrapping in the fresh veggies is that it's really quite energizing. And so like the fresh Vietnamese spring rolls, this is a similar kind of concept, but just getting those fresh green veggies into you gives a nice lift of energy. It's easy on the tummy, not too heavy. And as Ling mentioned, some people like the chewiness, and I'm one of those people. The chewiness is a happy thing for me. But nonetheless, we don't eat too many of these. But I would eaten more in the past when I was actually giving up eating meat entirely. And the nuggets and the other kinds of lamb yong products were quite helpful with that.
So, this is actually very, very good. Thank you so much, Thomas, and thank you for being, patient. This is actually very, very, very beautiful because I get to exercise, my teeth and my mouth and my jaws and everything. And I get to taste everything. And when I chew it mindfully and heartfully, not just the gratitude. Also, this is actually the medicine. I can taste everything and I'm connecting to Mother Earth. And I had that, I forgot one thing. This is actually what? Who can tell me what this one is? Di Ping?
Is it lemongrass?
Yep, that's why, that's lemongrass. So in Laos, we actually eat lemongrass raw like that. So Justin, I forgot to actually to put it in. If I'm not a very good vegetarian. If you ask me to chew, like my grandson and Tom, to chew a leaf like that, it's impossible. You cannot get a green leaf into my mouth because it's just too bitter. This is quite bitter. I know it's good for me, but then if I actually add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of chili, a little bit of cucumbers that I love, it sort of actually helped me to enjoy the bitterness. And also I getting this beautiful green, like the dill. Dill is also very good for me as well. If you ask me to pop dills into my mouth, forget about it. If you ask me to pop this Vietnamese mint leaf into my mouth, just forget about that. It will not happen. Same as the Palilla leaf as well. They look so beautiful, like on this side they're actually purple, but if you turn around they're actually green. So you can actually see, and I can see the beauty of it as well. Can you see the ages of it? So I also add that one in there mindfully and heartfully with the flowers. Now this one I'm actually not going to eat that one. How many times I have got Thomas?
9 minutes.
Oh, I only got 9 minutes. Okay, cool. So if you actually don't want to eat like this, I'm going to give that one to Tom. Lucky Tom. There you go.
That's so generous, Ling.
There you go. Now, if we only have 9 minutes, what I actually wanted to show you, after when you actually have enjoying things like that with your friend or by yourself, then what you actually going to do with the leftover. Now, that is actually the thing. I have got a pot right here. Where's my pot? Just give me 1 minute. I have got my pot here. I have got my chili and my sauce right here. So what I actually do, then I actually turn them into larb. In Lao, we actually call it larb. but one thing is actually I do need for Larb is that I need to actually to go and get the catty lamb, which I not going to do it today. I just wanted to just going to show you very roughly. So you know, with that thing there, I can actually turn them then into different stir fry. I can use them in stir fry. I can actually what I'm going to do, instead of making into stir fry or you know, with the veggie or whatever, I'm going to make Larb Lao, which is, you know, very quickly only. So whatever that is actually missing, left over here, I just cut them up, throw them in there, throw a little bit of that in there. Can you see, or you want me to move to the front a little bit? Can you see all right?
Yes. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now with this one here, do you grow this one in your garden, Priscilla and Liping? The Vietnamese mint.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're very, very easy to grow. You can also grow them in the water as well. They're very, very good for your health. It's actually especially good for your heart. So when you actually have it like that, you can actually cut them into length like that. They like to actually to bundle up together and then pop them into the ground, and that's actually how they actually will grow. So you use up the leaf and you just actually put them there. I'm just going to be very quickly just in there. Any questions? Anything girls would like to share? Do you eat lamb yonks or what do you call this one again? Liping said soil nugget. Liping, do you use soy nugget at all?
No.
Yeah, because Liping is a very good girl. She only you know, beautiful that she's very, honestly, Liping, you are amazing. Because you only, do you eat egg?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So if you actually don't want to put lamb yonks in there, that's perfectly okay. What you can, I actually you know, say that is the most important thing is the sauce. You know, the sauce that make it actually consumable. So as you can see, I just chop everything. It's like a salad, you know, just put a bit of everything in there, and you know, this.
Yeah, I used to use Lamyong product, I have to say, and they're pretty good. But now you can actually could you use like mushrooms and tofu
Yes.
as replacements if you want.
Yep, that's right. Thank you so much, Liping. So you know, instead of lamb yong, we can actually use mushroom. Mushroom actually works very well. And also, you know, tofu. There's so different type of tofu. I'm actually also one of the, because we're going to have another 9 days. One of the day, I'm actually going to do tofu dish. So if you have anything at all that you would like to suggest or would like to see, please, you know, communicate with us, let us know. And we will actually do what you actually, you know, would like to see. Now I'm actually putting the lamb juice in there. Priscilla, how are you going with your vegetarianism?
Doing good.
That's good.
Trying to manage my life, yeah.
That's good. And your parents have supporting you a little bit now, have they?
Yeah.
That's good.
They're more supportive now.
That's very good. Yeah. So you know, with the leftover sauce or dipping, I just add that in there. Now because I'm actually making into the jars like that, once it's actually, if I don't use it in there in my salad, I will put the lid on and keep it in the fridge for the next 3 days. So now that I have got, you know, my lamb, and look at this one here, I just have to stir them up. We need a little bit of stir up. And I also would like to acknowledge my gratitude to Tom's mother and sister as well. This little pot here, it was actually from Megan. That's you know, she actually it was actually from her mother, from Tom's mother, and from Megan's mother. And Megan was using it for a little while, and they actually have no room for it, so they send it, pack it up, and send it in the post.
My mum would have bought that pot. It's Bendigo pottery 50 years ago.
Yeah. So let's actually have a look at our Larb Lao to see how it is. If we have to be on the go and we don't have time to wrap, this is what we got. Thanks to Li Ping, we can actually use tofu as well. You can actually see how easy it is. So with leftover, what is leftover? You just have to cook a little bit more rather than actually just cook one slot and then have to cook it so many times, wasting your electricity and time. Whereas you can actually compromise where lamb yong is actually or the soil nugget. It have to be in the frozen department. It uses lots of energy. It's not pan-based and things like that. We can flip our mind and go, yep, today is Christmas. We're not having it every day. We actually have it with other greens. And because meat lovers, we're going to see our friends or our brothers who is not vegetarian, then, we don't want, we actually want them to also enjoy our company. We can make some things like that and share with them. Thank you very much, everybody. You are the world to us, Li Ping and Priscilla. Thank you so much. And Tom actually have taken videos, so we will post that on our 2030 campaign as well. So if you actually would like to have any suggestions, anything at all, please let us know, and we will actually for the next 9 days, we can do what you would like
tomorrow.
to see. We'll be back tomorrow, 2 sessions, 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Merry Christmas.